Hello, my name is Oddvar or $1. I wanted to just do a quick playthrough of Mage Lite. Mage Lite is basically a 18 card version of Mage Knight, which sounds incredible, and it is. Basically, it's removed as much components as possible and made it into a playable yet kind of full Mage Knight experience. The game was designed by Joe Clipful, and he also designed the first rulebook, which is extremely minimal and assumes you know all the rules of Mage Knight, and it just explains what the differences are. Now later on, someone on BGD, Patrick Caron, has written a more thorough rulebook which explains the Mage Knight rules as well. And what I like about this game is it's not just a dumbed down version of Mage Knight with some similar behaviors. It's really the full game, just with limited, set of map tiles, set of advanced action cards, and etc. But it is the real deal. Like, you can pretty much do anything that you can do in the real game. The incredible thing is that in the core game, there's only 18 cards. And the way they make this work is by printing on both sides of the card and also splitting some cards into top and bottom. And it gets a little bit fiddly, but it allows you to play on the go, and I have an A3 kind of mat here that I'm going to play on, and that's certainly enough to get by on. So let's get started. First of all, we have our hero card. There's only one hero in the core game, Tovak. There might be more in future expansions. I'm just going to play the basic core game, by the way, because I think it's hilarious that you can play Mage Knight in 18 cards. We have 4 map tiles, core tiles on one side, countryside tiles on the other. We have XP and reputation tracker. So we start with 0 XP and 0 reputation. There's some monsters, there's some unit offer, and artifacts and spells, which hopefully we'll see more of later. And then there's 8 action cards, which makes your deck. And they have a starting side and what we call a waning side. So basically you have all your 16 cards here that you have in a normal game. On the back of them you have advanced action cards, which you might pick up later in the game, and we'll certainly see some of that. So what I'll do first is I'll shuffle my deck of cards. One thing missing from the core game is tactics, and I don't know if that's going to come out in an expansion, but it's not yet available. So that's one thing that I miss, because it's nice to have the ability to get planning or something like that. Also in the core game there's only one scenario, and it's a kind of a blitz scenario, and it comes with different difficulties, and we're going to play on the hardest difficulty just because I think it's doable. And it's basically 2 cities, level 4 and 6, and you need to do them within 5 rounds. There's only 2 cities in this game, blue and red, so it basically depends on which one we find first becomes the level 4 city. So here is our draw deck. I'm just going to draw our starting hand. So we have starting hand size of 5. We're then going to shuffle the map cards and draw a random one for our starting card, starting tile. The only thing the game does not come with that they recommend you have is a player or character token. I have a die here, so I'm going to use that, and I'm going to set the number on the die to the number of the round we're in. So you start your journey on the bottom left here, and then you go from there. I guess the other thing we want to do is create a unit offer. So I'm going to rotate this randomly 1 to 4 times. I'm going to throw a die to see how many times. I'll re-roll a 5 and 6. So just roll it rotate it 1 time. The unit offer is the top left, the top right, and the bottom right. So we have herbalists, guardsmen, and crossbowmen. I don't have a village, but I do have a monastery, so I could recruit some herbalists if I wanted to. Okay, let's get started. I guess the main thing we need to mention is the mana source consists of your 3 leftmost cards. So there's like these little mana symbols. So basically I have a black, green and red mana in my mana pool at the moment. This is also used for the monsters and other things. So this is my guiding symbol, the leftmost card. And in fact, if I wanted to see, for example, if I burn down the monastery, I can see here my guiding symbol is a black mana. So that means I go on this row. So I have to fight some ice mages if I wanted to burn that monastery, which of course is always a temptation. I have no attack cards though, so that seems a bit silly. Similarly, if I go into the dungeon, it's also black, so that would be a werewolf, which would be suicide at this point. Okay, I've considered my options, and of course the most tempting thing is to burn down that monastery, not just for the XP and the artifact, but also because it's kind of tradition. Okay, so I'm gonna actually move with swiftness, and there is a reason for this. I'm not just stupid, so I'm gonna move to the monastery, and I am gonna do nothing more this turn. We then take the use cards, flip them to the other side, and put them at the bottom of our deck. If it was already in the waning phase, it would be discarded. We draw up to our hand size, and then it's a new turn. There's also no dummy player in the core game. There is one in the expansion. I haven't tried the expansion yet, but will certainly do at some point. Okay, so I want to burn down a monastery, so I'm going to do that. I still know that a attacker is going to be Ice Mage, so this is slightly more predictable than the real Mage Knight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this card to, first of all, crystallize, which is different. Choose a card in your hand. The source includes mana on both sides of that card, so I can now choose between black, green, white and red this turn. And I also use Mana Storm to use 2 additional mana from the source this turn, so a total of 3. Okay. So first of all, I don't block the Ice Mage, so I have a armor of 2. He attacks for 5, that's 3 damage. The way you take damage in the game is you wound your cards instead of taking wounds. It's probably the most interesting part of Mage Lite, because I guess they didn't want to ship the game with 10 wounds out of when the whole game is made in 18 cards. Makes sense. So the way that works is you can wound a card by essentially discarding it, or in if it's a starting phase, you move it to waning, so that's 1 wound, that's 2 wounds, and then I discard this, that's 3 wounds. So that's all the wounds sorted. And then in the attack phase, so this one is still technically here. I discard at the end of my phase, so my current mana options is green, gold, green and red, and I can use free mana. So I use the red one to power up Instinct to get attack 4, and I use the gold mana to power up Swiftness for attack 3. So that's 7 in total, enough to kill the Ice Mage. Forgot to take 3 reputation hits, so let's do that first. So these are all the positive sides, so let's flip to the negative side. That's 1, 2, 3, -1 effective. He has 5 XP, so that means I level up. Since it's a Blitz scenario, I also get +1 fame for leveling up. So you level up by just rotating your card, and the game has picked a skill for you, which is the blocking skill. I can't remember what it's called. Okay, so let's discard all the cards that I used, which is all of them. The ones that are now in the waning phase. Go to discard. The others are all starting, so they go to the bottom of my deck. And then I draw a new one. And then you're probably thinking, hang on, what happened to your level up card? Well, actually it happens now, because you want to have some new cards in your hand before you level up, because I get an AA card in my level up. So the way you do that is you take your 3 leftmost cards and then you turn around and then you choose one to be upgraded. So we can upgrade my promise card to be Diplomacy and Refreshing Walk, or I can have Blood Rage, or a Crushing Bolt / Agility. I think I've taken Blood Rage a few times. Let's try this Crushing Bolt, that sounds fun. So I played a gold mana on Concentration on top of Crushing Bolt for move 6. So let's just go here. That's 5, but whatever. We have a blue one here, which is the Orc Diggers, and they attack for 3. I block them with my skill. And then I kill them with my Ice Attack and Rage. So I get 2 more experience, which takes me up to level 3, and I get 1 extra fame because of the scenario, and then I get 1 better reputation since I killed a rampaging orc. Cool, so this was a starting card, and all the others are waning, so they go out of play. Get 2 more cards, and that's the end of my deck. So I'm level 3, it means I can recruit 2 units, and I upgrade my armor to 3, which is pretty good. Now I guess I just want to move to the right as far as I can. I do have blue mana, so move 4. 1, 2. And then I can play these 2 sideways to explore. And basically what happens is when you explore this, the top and the bottom hex here becomes 1. So I'm already on this new card. And that's my last 2 cards. This one isn't starting, so actually I can get this one. I don't have any mana, but I can heal 1. The way heal works is you can rotate a waning card in your hand, or you can get a card from your discard into your deck. So I'll do that. It's the bottom card, so you don't really know which one it is. Okay, so next turn I have a new card in my hand, but I can't really use it because it's just influence. So it's the end of the day. So we move this to 2 to indicate that we're in the night phase. We take my deck of cards and spin it back to the starting. Should be all starting at the top. And then we shuffle it. Deal ourselves a new card, a new hand even. I guess you could re-roll the offering, but the game doesn't say to do that, and there's four possible units you can hire anyway in the beginning. In fact, one of my few criticisms with the game is that some of these are kind of gated, so you can't get the middle ones before you've hired another one. Same with the artifacts, and it's kind of weird because in real Mage Knight you don't have to, every single artifact you have an equal chance of drawing. And that just reminded me, we burnt down this monastery and we didn't pick up an artifact. That was a bit stupid. So the way artifacts work is you just grab one, Oh no, again, we have to roll the same, so let's roll to rotate. So 2, so we do 1, 2, and then it's this one, this one, this one, so Golden Grail, Bag of Gold, and Shield of Kings. So let me grab Shield of Kings, probably wouldn't have been able to use it anyway. And the other thing to mention is that once you picked up a spell or an artifact, you're committed to one side of this particular card. So if I, for example, went to a Mage Tower now and got a spell reward, I would actually get an artifact reward. And this as well is a bit of a limitation just because you have so few cards, because it would be nice to have both. And I think it feels a bit wrong to just upgrade any spell to artifact, because generally artifacts are a little bit better, at least in my opinion. Anyway, let's see who's in the keep. So gold is the crossbowmen, who have 4 attack and 4 armor and swift. Okay, I kind of want to go in there just to hire some crossbowmen or guardsmen for myself. So how can we make that happen? I mean, we could use the Shield of Kings against the crossbowmen. Are we actually going to be able to use the Shield of Kings in a better way? I'll probably say no, so let's do that. Okay, so we need 3 to move, so let's move it. Let's use this for 1 additional mana from the source. So I use stamina with the blue to move, and of course we get a reputation hit. My reputation is not fantastic. And gold, so it's definitely crossbowman who will shoot for 4. Now the way you use an artifact is you basically play any card and use the artifact instead. So I use March to act as the Shield of Kings, so that's 6, and I also have my skill, so that's a total of 9, which means that I block them even though they have Swift. And then 4, I can use my second mana, red, to power up Rage to get 4 attack and kill them, and that's free experience up to 12. And I own a keep, which is always good. And that's it. I kept agility, and everything else is in. I don't know. I think it's this way you're supposed to discard, but not quite sure. And because I'm in my keep, also I have used my Shield of Kings, so I can't use that until next round. Yeah, since I'm in my keep, I get to draw another card. Which is super powerful so early in the game, or actually any time in the game really. Okay, so I said I wanted to recruit. Okay, so the way recruitment work is a bit weird. So currently we have this, this, and this, but once you've hired someone, it's only the units adjacent to it. So if I hire the crossbowman, I can only hire these 2, and none of them are available in the keep. So I think whatever I do, I can only hire 1 unit. I need 6 for the crossbowman, so I get -1, so 2, 4, and 2, so that's 8, 7, and I need 6, so now I have my crossbowmen, and they kind of tucked under the hero card in a way that suggests I only have 1 unit. This is where it's a bit messy, but whatever. Okay, so I have crossbowmen, I haven't used them, and I have used this card which was waning, this card which was starting, and this card which was starting. I still have these 3, and I'm still in my keep, so I still get 6 cards. Okay, cool, so I'll move 4 from the blue mana, and that's it for this. I need that mana. I'm still next to the keep, so I still get to draw 6. Okay, so I'm gonna go on the Ancient Ruin. I'm going to draw a grey and brown, so we go to the next one for the first, which is a guardsman. They are fortified, they have 3 attack and 7 armor. 7 is incredibly high so early in the game. Anyway, and then the second one is a gold unit, so that's a werewolf which has 7 attack and swift. So basically, unless you have 14 block, he's gonna eat you. Okay, but he is not fortified, and that's the way out of this. So I play Crystallize. Actually, I used the blue mana to get 2 mana tokens of a single color, even gold or black. So let's do 2 white ones. And then in the ranged attack phase, I use this for range attack 3, and I use the crossbowman for 2 ranged attack. 2 plus 3 is 5, so he dies. And then in the blocking phase, I block the only alive unit, which is the guardsman, with my skill. And then in the attack phase, I play this one, move 5. During combat you may spend move points. That's attack points 1 for 1, so that's 5 attack, 6, 7. And I still have these 2 left. Just showing off 3 experience and 5, that's 8, so I go to 20. So I go down here and I level up. That means I get 1 extra. And because I conquer this, I get an artifact. Okay, so now we can only choose between the adjacent ones, which is Bag of Gold, Influence 4, Fame 2, or Sword of Justice. Okay, I'm going to take the Sword of Justice because that sounds amazing. Okay, so now we kind of need to, I don't know. I know I've used the Sword of Kings, and I've used my crossbowman. Yeah, this is where it's a little bit messy. I used all these cards except the last 2, so this was waning, starting. Get 2 more cards, because I don't have any more. Now I leveled up as well. So I'm on level, so I have 21 XP and I am level 4, so I should move this to level 4. So now I got a new skill, which is move skill, and I again get to choose one of these cards, and one of them is already upgraded. So basically I can choose these to upgrade my cold toughness to blue grit, which is I think a new card. Or refreshing walk, which will heal you with diplomacy, so I think I'll take the blue grit one. Because there's no dummy play, you can cheese the game a little bit, and I'm probably going to do that right now. So I'm going to play Tranquility, heal 2, which means I can take 2 cards from my bottom of my pile and put them at the bottom of my draw deck. So basically you're extending your turn, and that's it for this turn. And so I draw more cards and I get some new opportunities. And then the next turn I basically just want to explore like mad. Concentration on top of stamina for move 6. So that's 2, and then explore for 2, that's 4 in total. And then the question is, do I want to go to the village to recruit, or do I want to go see what's up north? I think I'm going to go north. That's 6. Okay, let's just get rid of this. And then I don't have any cards to draw. Okay, so play this mana for move 4. So I have 1 left, and then get an extra for my skill in order to explore, and then we explore the last countryside tile here. That's enough. I mean, I could cheese it a bit and just say, okay, I'm gonna move one and my skill up here, and then I'm gonna move one and my skill. Let's explore. So the way you do it when you install your countryside tiles is you take the two that you're least likely to return to, and the reason why you take two is that it's so you can't completely know which one it's going to be, and then you take one and you flip it to the core side, and okay, so I didn't get a city. Cool, so we're here, and then next time you explore you use this one. So that was the last card. It's the end of the first night. We go to the third round. Okay, so we have hand size of 5 still. My keep is far away. Okay, move this, go here. In fact, I don't actually need to do it because I have my skill, but I need to play something or I will just have to discard a card anyway. Play a red mana on this to get influence 5. Then I have 5 minus 1, that's 4. Okay, so I have some peasants in my army. Why not? Why not? Better than just sitting around doing nothing in my book. Cool. If you can get an artifact, you should always get an artifact, right? Screw it, let's get an artifact. Okay, so I have 2 move, I have 4 move, and I have 5 move. And we assault this mage tower, which means it's even harder to recruit. And it's a fire golem defending it. I use this one to play my Shield of Kings, which is block 6, which is all I need to block 3 fire. So I swing this to basically say I've used it. And then he's got 4 life. Armor, but he's physical resistance, which is a pain. So I still have a red mana for rage, so that's attack 4, plus 2 from peasants, plus 3 from crossbowmen. I've used both my units, but I have taken the mage tower, which means I get another artifact. 3 artifacts in the second day, why not? Okay, so we have Shield of Kings, we have Sword of Justice, and Gem Pouch is plus 2 to the source this turn, or gain mana token of each basic color and 1 gold if it's day, or 1 black. I mean, that sounds incredibly good. Bag of Gold is influence 4 or 9, and fame plus 2. That's also good. I want to take the Gem Pouch because it's not so easy to get gems in this game. Basically, one of the things they took out was gems, so you only have mana tokens. There is an expansion for having gems, and I'm definitely going to try that because I do miss them. But hopefully with the gem pouch, problem sorted. Okay, so now we discard. We used all of these, and they're all in the starting phase. 5 cards. Okay, so I'm in the desert, which is stupid, but I'm also next to an orc. It's a red orc. What is that? That is the brutal guy. Hang on, I didn't even take XP for that. So he got 5, and I just forgot to take 5 XP. That's 26, and I gain a level, so that's 27. And it's a level 5, so that's the next card, I think, yeah. That means I can hire 1 more unit. This is a core tile, so I could actually hire a gold unit. So let's see what the gold unit offer is. I'm going to rotate it. Fire mages, ice golems, and fire golems are all available in the mage tower, so that's perfect. Okay, I definitely want to recruit. Now, because this is on the other side of my silver units, and I guess this is one of the other things that I find less good, but it's just because they didn't want to waste 2 cards on units. Same with spells and artifacts, and again this is solved in the expansion. But since you basically have to get rid of your old units, what they do is you can do a one-off swap where you take the total influence that you bought your units for, so in this case 10, and you gain it when you recruit. So yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna recruit and I have 10 influence -2. Okay, let's use this one for 1 influence in order to get the fire mages. And then I'll use tranquility to do a heal one, and I'll heal this card, which means I can rotate it. Okay, so then this is used. This one was in starting, so that goes at the bottom of my deck, and then I get 2 more cards, and I get Threaten, which is perfect. So I will use the red mana to play Strong Intuition, and I would discard mana draw, white card, that's 8, +2, that's 10, -2 is 8, that means I can hire Ice Golems. Alright, this one was discarded, but it's in starting, so that means it goes into waning. This one as well, and this one was in waning already, so that's out of the game, at least the round. So draw back up. Now I'm 6. Probably forgot about that for 1 round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So suddenly rounds go a bit quicker when you have larger hands, but I guess that's the same in the real game. But I have 2 gold units, so I'm ready to rock. I have 2 movement points. I have a white mana, so I can get 5. 5 should be enough to go there. 2 is enough to explore. Okay, if you're in the middle of the card, you can go, you're adjacent to this one, so I could go here for 3 points. And I guess that's because normally you would be adjacent because there's all hexes, but because of the cards it didn't work out like that. I guess the other option is to go around here. Might actually be easier, so I don't have to take that dragon. Currently that dragon would be, well, for next turn it would be a white one, so Lava Dragon, 7 hit points, but physical resistance. Didn't I have a card that removed physical resistance? That would be good to have now. I think I'll just stop there. I also have the Fire Mages and Ice Golems. I mean, if there was any point in time where you could take out the dragon, it would be now, wouldn't it? Okay, so 2 + 1 to move. Do I want to use this one? Sure, why not? Yep. And then we have the dragon, which is a white dragon or a lava dragon, which we will challenge, and he will attack for 9. I use this one to get a blue mana, which I use on Blue Grit, which will give me ice attack, ice block 12, which is enough to just block him completely. And then I need 7. Now this is 6 ice on its own. Use my gold mana here. And I use my ice golem. He's just got 1 armor left, and I can just use rage for 2 attack, and even though he's physical resistant, that's enough. Okay, that's amazing. So I get 8 experience, and apparently I was at 27, is that correct? Okay, so that's 35, exactly enough to level up, +1 for a blitz scenario, and I get a new skill, which is Don't Give a Damn, or whatever it's called. You can play it sideways for 2 points, or 3 if it's an advanced action card, and also a new advanced action card. And I get 2, so was it 36, 1, 2, because he's a rampaging monster. So these two, so I've used ice golems but not the fire mages. So these two are waning. This was not used. These two are also waning. And so we have 2 more cards. And I will level up one of these. And I guess I only have one choice, so fair enough. Swift Bolt it is. I should reveal the blue city. So it's level 4, and a level 4 blue city has 1 grey unit, so let's use the first one for that. That's golden, so that's a crossbowman. It has 1 purple, which is red. The fire golems again, and 1 white, which we run out of cards, so we go to this one, green. The freezers, so basically these 3. Now we've established the defenders in the city, we won't go back and change that, so we know it's these 3. Cool. I'll just do nothing, and I'm ready to attack the city in the second night. Okay, we're in the night. We still have 6 cards. But since it's night, I can only move 1, so I need 2 to take to go into the city. Yeah, let's move in with March. So 36, we have take a hit on it. Okay, what's so special with the blue city? It means that if they have fire or ice attack, they get +2. So we actually have some beefed up units here. I should definitely block this one because it has paralyze. So he's 5 with swiftness. So that means it's 10, and since it's ice, unless you have 10 fire block, it's gonna be 20, which is not cool. Okay, so let's just verify. So I moved in with my skill and March 2, so there's 1 extra move point there that I will use later. And then I used Promise to play the Shield of Kings for 2 block 4. I blocked the ice guy with a red mana to get 6 fire block, and I have 2 fire block, and then the one of the block 4 from Shield of Kings. The other 4 goes against this guy. He's 5 fire, so I need 10, so we have 4 from there. I use this to use 1 additional mana. I got on the red. So that's block 5, which is just short, which is frustrating. Anyway, I discard this one to get block 8 and 4, that's 12, that's more than 10. So I've blocked both of them. This guy attacks the ice golems, but they're physical resistant, so no worries. And then finally, in my attack phase, I use agility for move 3. And I can spend move points left from the move phase, which is something you can't do in normal Mage Knight, but here we are. I had 1 extra, so that's 4. And then I used my ice golems for 3. That's 7, which means I can kill the freezers, which I think is good enough for a first attack. It just feels like I could do a lot more, but whatever. So I get 7 experience, that's 7 plus 36, 43. And yeah, there's 2 more units, and I've used my Shield of Kings. Okay, so I move back, and all these cards were used, and they were all in starting, so I should be fine to attack again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'll use this Tranquility to draw one card. Thank you very much. We'll use this one, move to move in, and we have to take another reputation hit. Hopefully this is the last one. In the attack phase he attacks and he's 5 fire, so we have +2 ice block here, and we have ice block 4 here, so that means he's just completely blocked, and this guy can still try to kill the ice golems, which are physical resistant. What a nice ability to have. Okay, and then I use the green mana to power up concentration to use on Ice Bolt to get ranged ice attack 5, which kills this guy because he is not resistant to ice. And then what is that it? I don't have enough to kill him. That seems incredibly unlikely. No, okay. So I have 2 here, and I can play this sideways, and because of my skill I get 2 instead of 1. So that's 4 damage, which is just enough to kill him. Nice. Okay, so that's 5 and 3, that's 8, that's 51. Which is enough to level up, so get 1 more. And that's level 7. That was all my units, so these are starting, these were waning. Waning as well, and waning. Okay, so these goes in here, and then I get all 3 of them. Alright, cool. So now I have free influence in that city, which is 1 in total. No influence here, of course. I didn't take the bag of gold, so can't use that either. And I guess I will just... yeah, I'm just gonna go and find hopefully the city there. So I think this was the first one, so that should be 2, 3 and 4. So I can't go north, I have to go east. Okay, so I have 1 movement from my skill. Move 3 from Swift Bolt. 1 left, 2 left, because 1 and 3 is 4. And that's enough to go here. And this one is enough to explore. I think what happens now is, because these 2 are both countryside, I think you take them and randomly draw one of them. Let's do that. Aha. Okay, so that's a level 6 red city with a dragon in between. And currently the dragon would be a gold dragon. But anyway, I used all this stuff to move, so doesn't matter. I had just enough to explore, and that's it for round 4. Now we're in round 5. Okay, let's kill the city, but first let's kill this dragon. I always like how the starting cards in Mage Knight, like Rage, is still a good card at the end of the game. So currently that's a black, it's the same one. Okay, gold dragon, this is consistent. But of course I have my mages and my artifacts available again. Well, I don't really want to waste the units on a dragon. I mean, I'm almost tempted to just walk away from it, take 3 wounds and just let it be. Like, I just want all my cards to take this city. So screw you, dragon, you can try and attack me, I'm just gonna let you be. And it would be nice if I had like a wings of wind or something, but I don't, so let's move here. That's 5. I can use the gold mana to power up March, and 2 for my skill. That's enough to move. It will attack me. 6 cold fire, which I don't block, and it's brutal, so that's 12. I got armor of 4, so that's 3 wounds. So that's 1, 2, 3 wounds. I mean, it's not the worst. They don't go into my discard because they were just wounded. They were not used. This one does though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 2 move, and I want to move 1 more. Okay, what is the weakest card? Do I need to heal anything? Yeah, move with Tranquility, because I want everything else. Sure, okay. Cool. Alright, time to take on this city. So where are we? We are level 6 red city. That means it has 2 brown units and 2 purple units. So let's see, the first one is gold, brown, werewolf. Second one is a white, some kind of worm thing, kind of a cave worm? No. Third one is a black, so that's the ice mage. And fourth one is blue, so that's the friends, the fire golems. So basically we have these 4 in the last city, and if they fall, we win the game. I have enough move to assault the city. Now we're on the -3 tracker. Doesn't really matter, I'm not gonna use it anymore. We're on a red mine, so because there's no crystals, we just get a red mana for free to use this turn. The red city, if they have elemental attack, nothing happens. If they don't, they get brutal. So the werewolf is brutal, the cave worm thing is brutal, and these guys are not. Well, this one is, of course. So we definitely want to block them. The werewolf is an annoying bastard. It would be nice to siege him out of here, but I don't think we could do that. Okay, so he's gonna do 7, and that's gonna be 14. That's incredibly bad. Actually, I think this is risky. If we can't take this guy out, then we're gonna struggle. So I'm just gonna use the agility card. Let's use these 2. Just to make some space. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. Move 2 in here, and I already did the damage. And then I can use a green mana on concentration on Crushing Bolt for siege attack 5 to take the werewolf out of the game, because if not, I'm gonna get so much wounds, it's gonna be horrible. Okay, so he's dead. We have the worm, who's brutal. We have this guy and this guy. Okay, now I think it's fine. I was lucky I had 1 siege attack. We use this one to break the gem pouch, which gives us 1 mana of each basic color and 1 gold if it's day, or 1 black if it's night. So it's night, so we get 1 of each color, and we already have a red one. It should be enough. If we break cold fire, we get the shield. We get 3 cold fire, block 4 against different ones. That would block him. It would not block him, and it would not block him. So let's do that. Instead of the pouch, let's use this to break the Shield of Kings. So that blocks this guy, because he's only 3 attack if he's not blocked. This guy needs 1 more. I can use my skill for that, and this one needs 2 more. So basic rage, I guess. Everyone is blocked or dead. So how do we injure them? Yeah, I just use this to get a blue mana token. I already have a red from here, and I use them to power the fire mages. 1 kills this, 1 kills that. That's 10. Plus this one, 15, 67, plus 1, since I gained a level. I'm level 8. I cracked the sword and I used my units, and I get another skill, which is this one, which is useless currently. And 1, 2, 3 go out of the game. These 3 are starting sides, so they go back here, and I immediately get them back. And then I attack again, so I have 68, and I'm at -5. use my skill to attack again. The only defender is that worm, and hopefully I should have enough to kill it. So he's got 6 attack, but he's brutal. At this stage I just want to win, so I can have attack 3 and range attack 4, which is enough. And if I don't let him eat up my ice golems, I won't win the game. So let's do that. So he takes he's 12 damage. So he will eat 4 on the ice golems, and then he will actually eat them up, and then he has 4 left. And I guess he will eat up the fire mages, rest in peace. And then it's my turn. I use the mana here to get ranged attack 4, and then I have ice attack 3, which is 7, which is enough to kill him. And that's how you win Mage Lite in 5 rounds on impossible difficulty. Okay, so hopefully, if you know Mage Knight, that makes a lot of sense. If you don't, then it's probably a lot of confusion at this stage, but that's Mage Lite playthrough. And what I really like about this game is that it's basically a full Mage Knight experience, just a limited set of action cards and artifacts and units and spells. So it might get a bit samey afterwards, but there are already 3 expansions, I think, and they give you more cards. One thing I do want to try out with the expansions is to also add some wound cards to display wounds as they normally are, but I think it's kind of cute the way wounds and healing work here, although I think healing is probably extra powerful because you can basically take back cards and use them twice in the same round, and sometimes that can be absolutely killer. If you remember which cards you've discarded, you can make use of your best card twice in a round, in a turn, and that in a round, and that would be you wouldn't be able to do that in normal Mage Knight. But yeah, I mean, it was still pretty close. I had 1 card left basically, and my units are now dead. I broke the Shield of Kings. I still had a Sword of Justice, so I guess I would have had enough to kill him regardless of which cards I had left. Thanks for watching, and thanks to Joe for making this game, which I have had a lot of fun with on holiday. I just have this tiny little box to carry around with some cards in it. It doesn't even fill half of the box. It's fantastic. Thoroughly recommend it, and cheers.